watching out for you. This is Storm Team 8.
And a couple days ago, we were wearing shorts and short sleeve shirts, and it was quite warm. I mean, we started out September with, what, 2 days in the 90s and almost a third here in Grand Rapids. And now here we are, staring at the wall behind me with temperatures at the noon hour, 55 degrees. And with a few like reading, well, it feels like 54 here with a northeast wind. That's 5 miles an hour. Most other areas a little bit stronger. For instance, South Haven at 16 miles an hour. Up there in Big Rapids feels like 51 degrees. Just last hour, I looked up at Big Rapids in the Alma area, and we had feel-like readings, or wind chills, if you will, only in the 40s. So here's a check of some other area temperatures out there. You can see we're squarely in the 50s for a very fall-like feel to the air out there. Really, these are temperatures that we haven't seen in about 3 months, so going all the way back to June. And I'm sure if you stepped outside, you don't need me to tell you that, but 24-hour temperature change. You can see the heart of the cool air pretty much right smack dab over the Great Lakes, including Michigan, where temperatures right now are 16 degrees cooler than they were at the same time yesterday. Now notice upstream, temperatures are modifying a little bit. So I think tomorrow our readings will not be as chilly. The morning hours will be, but the afternoon with a little more sunshine, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. I think today all we'll see is lower 60s out there in most locations. And just to give you a hint how cold it is going to be tonight, not here, but areas to the north, we do have a frost advisory, the first time I've seen that for the season, so they're going to have to look out for a little bit of frost in northern lower Michigan and also the UP. Wind speed out there 17 miles an hour straight out of the north, straight out of Canada, and 15 in Kalamazoo, so that's why we're seeing those cooler temperatures out there. Now remember, we started out September with a due south wind, and that really extracted a lot of heat from the Central Plains. Different wind direction means a whole different story out there. Yes, I brought back the wind chill. There were some 40s up there. I feel like readings in the 40s to our north. Right now it feels like 50 in Alma and Big Rapids. So mark that on your calendar. The first time I showed the wind chills out there. Here we are on the visible satellite and radar composite. You kind of follow the wind direction with a streamline of those clouds setting up from north to south here across the Great Lakes. I think we'll see more in the way of sunshine this afternoon as temperatures climb in the lower 60s. At Lake Michigan, obviously not a great beach day. Probably don't have to tell you not to go in the water. Simple fact, we have a high rip current risk with waves anywhere between 6 to 10 feet, isolated 12-footers out there. By midnight, look at this, temperatures sliding into the 40s, so very quickly this evening once the clouds dissipate, temperatures won't waste any time. They'll fall into the 40s, wake up readings tomorrow morning in the lower 40s. Now what's interesting, with a northeast wind, a few of these eastern counties may actually see some lake effect clouds from the Saginaw Bay area. If that's the case, it may act like a blanket keeping you from getting too much colder. But by the noontime tomorrow, right around 60, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and it looks like we'll top out tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s. So yeah, it's going to feel like fall the next couple of days. By the time we arrive to Wednesday, temperatures rebound into the 70s, and we'll continue that warming trend in the late week with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the 50s. So these will be the two coldest days in the 8-day forecast. Otherwise, a really good-looking September week of weather.